gentlemen, meet the brand new 2022 Golf R, the top of the line Golf. Now, the reviews of this car have been, shall we say, mixed. People say it is no better than the previous generation. And to find out, yep, we have brought a previous generation car. This is the 2013 Golf R. It is the Mark 6. But we need one more thing in this review to find out if the new car is better than the old car. And that, of course, is Paul, our race car driver. So, Paul, what are we going to do with these two cars?
Well, I think we'll put them through the usual testing procedures, and so we'll try a drag race and see how the horsepower difference versus the weight difference kind of plays out between the generations. And then we'll do a lap time, and I'm obviously really curious. The new car's got some, not only more power, but it's got that torque vectoring rear differential. So those always kind of excite me, being the car nerd that I am.
And that is coming up right now.
All right, Paul.
Now keep in mind that I've got a stage 1 tune on this Mark 6.
Does that mean you're going to give me a head start?
No, it doesn't mean I'm getting a head start. It just means I've got supposedly 300 horsepower, kind of like yours.
But your car weighs like 150 pounds less.
Yes, but I weigh 150 pounds more.
You're not wrong.
All right, let's see. Let's do this, dude.
Hold it right there, guys. I bet you weren't expecting this, but TFL is going to be talking about knives, specifically kitchen knives, specifically Kamikoto. 800 years of experience going all the way back to the Edo period, real Japanese steel. We're talking about a knife that is beveled on one side for super sharpness. Their product range features a vast array of Japanese steel knives, such as the 3-piece Kampeki knife set that comes with the Nakiri vegetable knife, which is 7 inches long, the slicing knife, which is 8.5 inches long, and the utility knife, which is 5 inches long. Having to go through an arduous 19-step process in order to make these knives, Kamikoto's bladesmiths have over 100 years of experience between all of them. And these are all handmade knives, and they have a lifetime guarantee. Now I have the Kampeki 3-piece knife set, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity and instructions for cleaning and sharpening. But most importantly, what we do here at the Fast Lane Car is we cut auto parts. Why? Because we don't use vegetables. However, instead of a shiitake mushroom, we're cutting through rubber with the vegetable knife. Now, one of the things at TFL we do is we review motorcycles, and as such, having the 8.5-inch slicing blade, which is beveled on one side, by the way, allows you to go into the tire, cut through it, and of course, have a great day, because cutting through tires is what we do. Get your own set of precision Kamikoto knives made from Japanese steel and $50 off any purchase by clicking on the link below or going to kamikoto.com/fastlanecar.
Now this white car is a Mark 6 Golf R. We just bought it for about $18,000 and it's got about 80,000 miles on it. But under the hood is basically the first version of that engine. It's an E8 888 and it puts out about 256 horsepower, but this car is special. Yep, it's got a stage 1 tune, so now it's putting out about 300 horsepower.
All right, now under the hood of the 8th generation Golf R, we have the same EA 888 engine, but the horsepower now is up to 315 horsepower, and the torque is either 280 with the 6-speed manual that we have in this car, or 295 if you get the DSG option.
Hey Paul, what the hell's going on with this engine? It's naked.
I think we know why they tend to cover engines with plastic covers, which ours is now missing. And I'm speculating we got the lightweight club sport version here, Roman. This is good.
Ready? Ready?
I bogged. Oh, come on! Well, we know which one's faster.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know. You might want to talk to those guys about that stage 1 tune you got there.
You know, I mean, you got off the line quicker, but I was kind of keeping up with you. All right, well.
That was fun, but you know what? Let's find out which of these two quicker around the track, right? That's really what it's all about.
And drag race is fun, but these cars are the ultimate golfs, and so they should be the ultimate cars to go quickly around a track. Got to go on the launch of that car in Europe, except I got kind of bamboozled because in Europe the Mark 6 had better seats, better lights, and get this, more horsepower. Ours had about 250, the European had about 276. So when they brought this one over, I kind of felt like it was detuned, but now with that stage 1.2 on it, it should make it a little bit, well, livelier, a little bit more fun to drive, but really we'll have to find out what Paul thinks. Looks quick. It's not bad. I mean, a very quick lap around this track would be a minute and a second, give or take. You know, it kind of puts it mid-pack among all the vehicles we've done here, but that was only his first lap, so we'll give him a other one without a videographer to see if he can go quicker, and I bet you he will.
Now our Mark 6 Golf R has slightly smaller wheel and tire package. It's a 225/18, not a two-piece rotor, so there's a little bit more weight there with the cast iron rotor. Still has the cool big R brake calipers, and this one's actually sporting a Michelin Pilot all season on it. A little bit of a bobby launch there. The engine is not super responsive in this. It's supposed to be tuned, but it doesn't feel very strong. The steering is slow and kind of, I don't know, not very communicative. Understeer. It does not feel all-wheel drive in that it's just understeer everywhere. Brake pedal goes right to the floor. It starts out firm and then just goes roar and gets sort of sucked down.
Well, second quicker without the videographer in the car, which makes a lot of sense, but you know, this is a good time. It's not exactly a mind-blowingly quick time, but for a car that we're using as an airport car, it's pretty good. You know, you take about a second and a half off.
Okay, yeah, I think that's pretty representative. You know, maybe a little bit handicapped by having the all-season tire on, even though it is a good one. But yeah, it just feels kind of soft and rolly and...
roly-poly? Don't say that about my car. It's roly-poly, Paul.
Perfect for driving to the airport.
Perfect for driving to the airport. All right, well, let's see how much quicker, if the Golf R Mark 8 is actually quicker. So hop in.
Can't wait to try. So we're in the Mark 8 GTI. I've got everything turned off and I've got the car in drift mode. Word on the street is that's the go. We'll see if it actually is. I think we'll probably try one with each, one in drift, one in race, all with stability control off. Yeah, this car, I like the engine a lot. The chassis seems a little bit, a little inconsistent, but let's see. Pretty fun. I kind of like the feel of it. It's geared a little bit shorter than the Mark 6. It has understeer going into the corner and then does go fairly neutral on the way out. taut. Like, the damping is super tight. And the rear end, sure enough, does come out. So it's pretty good most places. It's not great on entry. It really likes to slide the front on entry.
All right, Paul. So you went 108, Mark 6, and now you went 104.
There we go.
Yeah.
And I would even like to do one more in race mode instead of drift mode.
All right.
And just see how that compares.
Yeah, let's do it.
But this thing feels pretty good.
Yeah, all right, let's do one more race.
All right. Well, we're looking at wheels, tires, and suspension. We've got a Bridgestone Potenza, and it's a summer tire. It's a 235 19 that's on this car, and it also has two-piece rotors, which means you get an aluminum hat on the brakes, which saves some unsprung weight. So that's pretty cool. And then also, as I mentioned earlier in the opening, this car, the big upgrade going to the Mark 8 is an actual torque vectoring rear differential. Now these differentials are really cool. It's not like electronic torque vectoring where you just basically are applying brake to the inside wheel, which kind of helps the car turn but also slows it down. A real torque vectoring mechanical differential actually sends overdriven power to the outside wheel, helping the car steer through the corner. And my biggest complaint ever with these Rs, and why I always like GTIs more, is because the Rs always had a lot of understeer. So I'm optimistic, fingers crossed, that torque vectoring differential is going to make the difference. Okay, now we're in race mode. Trying to get it to launch.
Hey guys, we're here at our home track, IMI Motorsports. Check them out at imimotorsports.com. You can rent the track or go play in the dirt.
Interesting. So drift mode's so fun because you do get the oversteer. Race mode, it's kind of neutral, which is sort of what you want, right? I could use a little bit more oversteer though. It's kind of bouncy suspension-wise. It reminds me a little bit of the Focus RS like that. The Focus RS liked to bounce on its tires as well.
All right, Paul, there's your time.
Cool. Yeah, 104.24.
Which is almost identical.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, between race mode and drift mode, the drift mode was 4/100ths of a second faster. So to be honest, there's no effective real difference. The car definitely has more oversteer coming off the corners in drift mode. The car's still not brilliant going into the corners in either of the modes. Like, it still understeers going in quite a bit, so you just have to be patient and slow it down. You know what this thing reminds me of?
What?
A Focus RS.
Yeah.
I mean, and anyone that knows me, that's like high praise.
Yeah.
I really like that car. Now, I think the Focus RS was about 3/4 of a second faster. Oh, I like this car a lot. Oh, this lap's gonna be faster. And that was a really solid lap. I really kind of dialed in the balance of the car there. It felt really, really good. But a 104.2, this thing's fast.
On cold tires. At a mile above sea level.
And I remember the Focus RS came on Michelin Pilot 4S's, it's a better tire than the Bridgestone that's on this car. So the other thing that it reminds me of the Focus RS is it's bouncy stiff. Like, it's stiff. And it has that Nürburgring mode where it's actually all the performance of the powertrain with softer shock settings, which is kind of cool. I think that might be the ideal one, especially for on the roads and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know where the bad reputation, from my perspective, of where this car comes from, because to me it's miles better than any Golf R I've ever driven.
Well, there you have it, guys. Hot or not, hot and better than the previous gen, at least the Mark 6. we need to get a Mark 7 at some point to
Yeah,
test.
yeah.
But it's good.
And it's certainly good on the track, and it's got a really nice engine. It pulls all the way through the power band, all the way to redline. It doesn't feel like a little 2-liter turbo. It's proper, like a performance motor. And yeah, great 6-speed manual. I can shift.
Yeah, I know, I love that.
Right?
Too,
We haven't talked about that at all, but it's a 6-speed manual, folks. Yay!
There are like 2 cars that come in a manual now.
Yeah. So
Literally.
and we've got 4 doors and a practical car you could drive every day. Heck yeah, it's hot.
It's hot.
All right, we're gonna do a 0 to 60 time on the Mark 8 Golf R. So let's see how it does. It doesn't launch really well, so let's see if I can get it to launch. And 6.69 to 60, and having to go to 3rd gear, so that's 2 shifts in there and a mile above sea level. And not a very good launch. The car won't let you, it doesn't have like a launch mode that I can find anywhere. And so you get either you got to kind of ease it off the line with a little bit of clutch slip, or it kind of bogs. So there's no sweet spot there where I've got like little nice light wheel spin right off the line. It kind of has to build some boost and go from there. Okay, 0 to 60 on the Mark 6 Volkswagen R, Golf R. .69 seconds, which is exactly the same time, literally down to the 100th that I did with the Mark 8.
How quick?
Exactly the same time to the 100th.
Really?
And it's all because this car will let you launch.
Yeah.
So that thing pulls so much stronger,
Yeah.
but this thing actually launches, and in 0 to 60, like that first 5-10 miles an hour makes all the difference.
There you go.
So identical.
There you go.